Okay. Hi, everybody. Officially, hello. This is Diane Finnestead Ellis, and right now we are in January of 2026. I'm so excited that you guys are joining us. So I want to say to those that are here online, Francine, good to see you. I can't see you, but I know you're there. And then to the Acres, thank you so much for being here, and also to Rick Bach, thank you so much for being here. And then in the room with us. It was funny. Janet just asked, I hope you guys don't mind me saying names of everybody. Janet just asked me, she said, hey, she said, Diane, where are we? And I said, well, we're in this training room that's one that we can use, either this small one that we're in today, or we have the bigger one that I have used in the past for all of the meetings at the beginning of the year to go over, what plans are available. So we are located today at the Jayberg and Associates office, where most of my senior business goes through Jayberg and Associates, and has since 2014. And it's one where we're located at 1215 Fern Ridge Parkway. In Creve Coeur, Missouri, 63141. My offices are also located in Valley Park, Missouri, right above the St. Louis County Police Department. No, you have to be vetted to get that office. And boy, I think they tailed me for about 2 weeks. And they said, that woman's so boring, she gets the office. So she's so predictable. She just hangs around with people over 65. Little did they know how much trouble we all can get into, right? So anyway, so that kind of lets you know where I'm located. But I also have 29 states that I serve in because of all y'all calling me all the time saying, Diane, can you help my client in Texas? Or can you help my friend or neighbor or a past classmate? Or it could have been a colleague, or it could have been a coworker. Diane, can you help them? And yes, I can. I just get the license and I just do it. Amazing with all of this Zoom stuff, what you can and can't do. So it's fantastic. But my business, my home is here in St. Louis. And Eddie, my sweet husband, he is now a St. Louisan, all to the tune that y'all are going to laugh so hard. And anyone that sees this down the road is going to say, what in the world was she talking about? Eddie last night sent me a picture of one of the St. Louis landmarks, and it was actually of Ted Drew's. And the funny thing was, lately in our local news here, people have said they've seen some monkeys in the northern part of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And a goat. So, of course, at 11 o'clock at night last night, I'm thinking I'm going to sleep, and I get this text message from Eddie, who's in the other room, and he texts me this picture, and he goes, ha ha, I finally get all the jokes. I now see the goat and the monkeys have been eating ice cream or concretes at Ted Drew's, and there was a chat GPT picture of it. And I wrote back to him, I said, you are now a St. Louisan.
There you go. There you go.
It was even on the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're famous now, aren't we?
Famous.
Well, hopefully I'll let you know what else we're famous for. But I wanted everyone in the room, if you feel comfortable, please say your name, and you can say if you're new to Essence or if you've had Essence for a long time. And Essence Randolph is with us. So if you guys don't mind, you're going to be on camera as I turn this around. Essence Randolph is going to introduce herself last. She's coming back. I'm coming back to you. All right, Pat, say hello.
Pat Dykeman, and I've been with Essence a long time.
I'm Judy Job. I've been with Essence for several years, but we moved from PPO to HMO Plus.
Hi, I'm Peg Shear. I've been with Aetna forever, so I'm just training. The rep I have, bad communication, so I'd like to see maybe there's something else available.
Yes. Okay. Very good. I'm so glad you're here. I love your hat. I'm going to Texas at the end of this month. Can I borrow it? Just
You don't need this in Texas.
Okay, I'm Shirley Seward. I met Diane. She's all over the place. You can meet her at the senior centers or wherever. But I just went from United Healthcare to Essence, and I just got this So I have to wear this. You want me to tell them now?
Tell them now, and we'll come to Janet in a second.
Okay.
This is the
so-
commercial about the Aura ring, you
Oh,
guys. Okay.
Okay, so I thought, oh, I didn't get nothing on the ring. So I called them and they sent me this and nothing's in there to read, just this little bit. But my friend over there told me to put this on and wear it a while, and then they'll tell me the exact size and send it to me. So these have sizes and you just twist them off here and you wear it. She said, this is the best finger.
Yeah, your pointer finger.
And so then they'll have they'll send you a ring, not this plastic thing. So then you can wear it and it tells you, you can tell that. I don't know too much about it. I just know we
Yes.
wanted one.
And we'll talk about that. And you do want one. I love it.
He said we wanted one.
Is it like
So
an
we'll-
alert- is it alert system?
We're gonna talk more
Okay.
about it in a minute.
She'll
So
tell us.
that's the teaser commercial.
I'm supposed to
It's a
introduce
teaser.
myself and I told about that. I'm sorry.
Now everybody's gonna be wanting the whole time while we're talking, they're like, get to that Aura ring, get to that Aura ring. Okay, go Janet.
I'm Janet Keitel. I'm with Essence new again, but I had United Healthcare last year and I had Essence before that. So I'm back to Essence again.
Yes,
Yeah.
because every year we review and we
Yes,
look and see what's gonna be the best for you that particular year.
Yeah.
It's one where I offer those education classes and I say, everybody come on. And this is the first year that I've ever had a get together like this. And the first time that we've ever had an in-person
Yay.
with one of the broker leaders from the actual company. This is a big, big deal, you guys. The rest of America is looking at us saying, is this something we need to be doing? Diane, you're doing too much. Okay, Courtney.
Hi, I'm Courtney Hudson. I am Diane's marketing assistant. I usually am at the Valley Park office. I just came to work with her in October, actually, the first day of open enrollment. So,
And she's still here.
and I'm still here, and it's been a wild ride, but I'm still here.
Because Edith got promoted to be my operations assistant. So yeah, and we knew, oh wow, we gotta add someone, and I knew to add Courtney because I will brag. Courtney just finished her degree as a social worker. So it's in social work, and then she was doing her internship with Voice STL, VOYCE. That's the Ombudsman program, which gives voice to people that do not have relatives that can provide advocacy while they're in nursing homes at over 500 nursing homes in eastern Missouri. And Courtney was very, very influential to get a very successful advocacy day for down at the state level for voice. And she was in one of my classes that I was giving about just everything about Medicare 101. Essence Randolph, who you're going to meet in a second, was also there at that class. And Courtney kept on asking wonderful questions. And I thought, she's either brilliant or she has firsthand knowledge of this. Well, guess what, folks? It's both. It's both. So it's really interesting. Yesterday, we were talking to another carrier, and it brought up something that Courtney can do as a campaign to help all the social workers in the St. Louis area do their jobs better by her reaching out to them and saying, here are some aspects about plans that you might not be aware of that can help the members. So she's going to be doing some unique things like that. I'm really excited. I'm so excited about it. Oh my gosh, that makes me look forward to this year. Okay, now you're gonna meet my friend Essence Randolph. Everybody do a drum roll. Here we go. And in the room, folks, we have my good friend, Essence Randolph.
Hey, everybody online. Hello, everybody. And I love how you introduced me as friend, because that's what we've become. We all know Diane is our friend as well as our business partner. So thank you for having me today. This is so awesome to be here with your clients, family members, and share my knowledge. I've been an employee with Essence Healthcare for 14 years, but in this role where I get to work with brokers like Diane for the last few years. And so we've just gotten closer and closer. And so now I get to be in here with you guys. So I must be okay.
more than okay. And you all are probably wondering, her name is Essence Randolph, and she worked for Essence. That's correct. They
Oh, man.
named it after her. And we're just gonna go with that. So a round table right now. I'd love to know from y'all what it was when you walked into this room or you got into the Zoom. What was it where you thought, gosh, I hope they cover this today? Because I want to make sure we cover it, because I don't want you to leave and go, well, Diane, we're still going to have to meet for 2 hours.
The benefits of the Flex card.
The benefits of the Flex card.
We had an instance where it didn't cover something I thought it would.
Okay. We were just talking about that before y'all came in. Okay, go ahead, Pat.
The difference between the HMO and the PPO.
Okay.
They got rid of my plan that I had last year and I don't like it.
Yes.
And
And why?
HMO.
What's going on with that? Right.
I've been handling my doctors for years.
Uh-huh.
And now I have to beg to
Uh-huh.
say, I know what I'm doing. I've been to this doctor before, and now I have to prove that I need to go to this doctor.
Yes. So there's some interesting things that go along with that to answer that. Okay, who else? What else?
I'm interested in the dental.
The dental and how that works. Oh, okay. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So yeah, absolutely. So dental, and then Shirley, how about you?
Well, I want to know the difference. I'm not ever sick. I am so blessed. I'm not one of these that go to the doctor very much. So, and I don't have anything wrong with me, and I'm so blessed, and thank you, Lord. But anyway, I want to know the difference, because my friend is a year older than me. She was supposed to be here, but she bought into that bad weather. You know, they were saying it was going to snow and all of that. So she called with me late last night and decided to beg off, because she's been a little under the weather and she's having lots of problems with her eyes. So she goes to the doctor a lot, and we've been childhood friends. So that's Anna. And so she was supposed to be here today. She has the PPO, and we now have the HMO. I didn't know what I had before. And I also found out how hard it is to find out your blood type.
Right.
It's a lot of money.
Right.
And if you want to know,
I know.
somebody said give blood and they should be able to tell you. Is that true?
That's what I was.
That's the word on the street, but not the official word. We'll get a lot of word on the street today. So, but that is okay.
Thank you, Diane. I did not thought, well, you can read. But you really get all the benefits if you have someone like Diane. Absolutely. I was impressed.
Thank you.
Introduced me to Diane. She met her at one of the senior things that I did not go with her. She's always asking me to go, and we go a lot together. She goes by herself. And Diane, I said, it didn't take me long to figure out. She's a professional, and she goes through all these classes. And I thought, oh, wow. So I'm going to listen to what she has to say.
Thank you.
And I thought we should go to Essence.
Thank you so much. Just like my cousin.
Trying to butter up or nothing, but
so thank you.
Deal with people that just don't know what they're doing.
Well, my cousin Jeff, who's turning 65 this year, he called me, and you have to understand, everyone, all my cousins are in Mensa. They're all Mensa, okay? They are so smart, and they all get together, all have their weird quirks, and it makes for a good time. I mean, just to watch them talk, because they have this verbose vocabulary. So you're just like, where is this coming from? And it just oozes out of them. And so I tell them that I'm not Mensa, I'm Friendsa. So I'm Familysa with them. So anyway, Jeff says to me, I'm turning 65, Diane, what do I need to do? And in his case, with his state, he's in Maine. So he's got to wait a certain amount of time from his employer. And we had to just I had to go over that and say, this is how it works with your employer. This is how it works when you get this, blah, blah, blah. You all have been through that part of the conversation. And so he looks at me, he goes, well, Diane, we're going to change the dollar. And I'm like, what's the dollar going to be? He says, it's going to say, in Diane, we trust. And I'm like, I said, oh, we're not changing the dollar. It's not going to be worth much anymore. He said, thank you so much for that compliment. That means the world. So, okay. So, Janet, what was it that you wanted to know when you came in today?
Oh, I like that thought of the blood type. I didn't know. I've got RH negative. But people say, well, what one?
Right,
I didn't know there was any other. I thought it was just RH negative. That's it.
So what you're bringing up is a really interesting thing. And and then we'll go on to you guys to know what you wanted to know today too. But I'll just interject right now. When you are brand new to Essence, you get a welcome to Essence visit with your doctor. Okay. When you are brand new with Essence, you get a welcome to Essence visit with your doctor. That is not unique to Essence. That's with any plan. When you change plans or you're first onto that plan, you get a welcome visit. And it is a physical that you can have with your doctor and specialist. And it is a longer appointment than normal. Okay. So, so typically appointments with doctors nationwide are about 18 minutes. So you can expect for that appointment to be about 32 minutes. If you go at the end of the day, it will be a little bit longer appointment because they don't have any more appointments after that. If your doctor has questions to answer, they're not under the pressure to meet the next appointment. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you really want to have some time with your doctor for that welcome visit, schedule it at the end of the day. Okay. So, and then you can ask questions like to the doctor, how do I get my preventative test? Would a blood test qualify as a preventative test? Most likely not, but you can also talk about other preventative tests. Again, when you talk about preventative, it's one where when you bring the subject up, then the doctor will write it down in the notes. And so it's one that you've already brought to their attention. And so if you are the one, the impetus, the churning, burning, yearning person wanting that test, then it will usually happen. They usually don't come out and say, we have this plethora of tests. Which one would you like? So you've got to be the one to say that. Okay, so for my online friends, okay, Akers, what were you wanting to know today? What was your burning, yearning question?
I wanted to know about the Aura ring. What about you, Johnny?
I'm I'm wondering why I can't get into my SE app. So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, just they won't even take my phone number. So, so I don't know.
Are you going into the Everything Essence app?
No. Is
No.
that what I should?
SE Health.
Is she going?
SE. This is SE Health.
Is her doctor SE?
Is your doctor SE and you're trying to look your doctor up? What were you trying to do?
No, I'm just trying to get on the app. I mean, I have the Flex.
So the app would be everythingessence.com.
On the
yeah,
store, we have the Essence Flex app.
Yes.
Just make it seeing where she was.
Yeah. So Essence Randolph is saying, okay, where is it that you wanted to go? There is an Essence Flex app that's available. And then to find out anything and everything about Essence, you would go into and log into and create an online profile through everythingessence.com. It is fabulous. I wish that I had a backdoor to it. But and Essence is good. I did too. We're going to put that in the meeting in February. Get me my portal entry, please.
Well,
so we were actually talking about having that in the class today to show, and we couldn't figure out how to show it without showing somebody's PHI and their personal health information. So we weren't able to do that. But all we can say is you can see everything that we can't see. So, okay, what else did y'all want to go over? Anything else? That was it? Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so Francine, did you want to add something that you wanted to make sure we went over today?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can't see you. I can see your ceiling.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Hello?
can see your hands. They're very beautiful.
But can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm teasing
Oh,
you.
okay. All right. I just wanted to go over the flex card, the
Okay.
quarterly allowance, and then how that
Okay.
works with dental and vision.
So we're going to start with the benefits first, and then we'll back it up with all of the medical stuff. So that lets me know that we need to go that flow. Okay, Box, what was it that you wanted to know? But
Well,
you
we
were
just
burning and
moved
you're to
from,
know.
yes, how are you doing, Diane?
Oh, good. It's good to see you.
You too. Say, I just wanted to, moving from PPO to HMO, maybe cover some of the high level differences. That's pretty much it.
Okay, that sounds good. So I think we'll go from the PPO and HMO first, and then we'll go into the benefits. So yes.
It's Bob.
Oh, it's Bob, not Francine. Okay, good to know, Bob. He's incognito, folks. He's only showing us his hands, and he's going by an AKA name. He's gangster. In here. That's hilarious. Okay, so first of all, we'll start with this. So you guys can see this, right? Okay, let me see if it's on here. You go this way and on screen. Yep, you guys can see it. Can you see it?
We got it.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody received this at the beginning of this year when we met, and it now has the two sides of Medicare on there, and that's my discussion point that I use from page 10 of the Medicare and You book that you all receive every year. If you ever want to know anything about Medicare, what happens from year to year on a grand level, you would just go to Google, and you could Google search it and put Medicare and You 2026 and then PDF. So Medicare and You 2026 PDF. This is page 10. So I use the stuff from the government, and then we're going to use some Essence stuff here in a minute. So everybody has chosen their side.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Yeah, you've got it. And so this side right here is the supplemental side. Those are your friends that tell you, hey, I don't pay anything for my Medicare. Yes, they do. They pay ahead of time. And then over here, we've got the Advantage side. And that Advantage side is part C, stands for combination, where you have A and B. A is your hospital, B is your doctor. They put it in there. They also, in our area of St. Louis, not all the places across the country, but in St. Louis, we have part D that's embedded in there. And that is D for drugs. And then there's these extra benefits. There's money that can go towards benefits outside of your medical. And that's typically dental and vision and hearing. And sometimes it's a gym membership. Sometimes it could be transportation. Sometimes it could be over-the-counter items. Sometimes it's a flex card, in our case, that we're going to be discussing today with Essence. And so that's where you see right down here where the government says some extra benefits. But anybody that has an Advantage plan is always like, what are those extra benefits? So that's what we're going to go over today. Now, succinctly, to let you guys know, I am playing around with this idea of making showing this in a way where it shows a road that you're traveling, and you can pick two roads, and mom and dad picked two separate roads for their Medicare journey. Dad was on this side and mom was on this side. So basically you have to remember that on this side for the supplement, dad was issued a federal car, and he was told he could drive it anywhere he wanted to go. He just had to put the gas in it every single month, like a premium gas. And then he couldn't put any passengers in there unless he paid for it. And those passengers would be his dental, vision, and hearing. Okay. Now over here on mom's car, she said, I would like for somebody else to drive. And so she chose her company to drive her around, her carrier. The name of the company we're talking about today would be Essence Healthcare. They're driving our car, folks. And we are in the passenger seat. And then they are telling us where we can go. Our doctor's telling us where we can go. We can't just go anywhere where Medicare is, only where the doctor's saying, hey, you can go there. And then the passengers are already in the seat. You can tell them to be quiet and say, I don't need you, dental. Don't pipe up right now. I don't need you, vision. Don't pipe up. I don't need you, hearing. I don't need you, FlexCard. You just stay quiet, but you're in the car with us. So that's the way I have understood these two things. My mom used that as an example, and I thought it was brilliant to explain it. What do y'all think?
Yes.
You like it? Okay. So that's what we're going to be using. Essence is like, I like it too. So, okay. So what we're going to do now is this book, pretty much everybody got this one. And this book here, if you didn't get it, it's available on Everything Essence, and you can download this book. And you also received a book. I'm going to have you like hold that up, Judy, and show everybody. You got this. Bye. Hi, Courtney. Okay, I'm on my own. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you're seeing.
Thank you, Courtney.
So those books came in the mail with your card. So hopefully everybody's got, oh, good, you got that book. Fabulous. So what we're looking at when you have that book, I don't know if they do the brag letter here, but they're bragging that, and they should, that 20 years ago, that's where the journey began with Essence. Here in the St. Louis area, Essence was developed by doctors. And it was developed by doctors to say, we want to concentrate on customer service. And we want that customer service to be about the member. And so they've grown to where if we decided to have this is just the St. Louis area, not the other areas that Essence is involved with and represented in the country. But if St. Louis decided to have a 2-day event down at Busch Stadium, they'd fill it just with Essence members. That's a wow. So it's a large imprint, and they don't usually talk about it, about that, because they don't want you to feel, this is the reason why they told me, Diane, this is why we don't have this commercial or commercials, period. If we spend a lot of money on commercials, we can't give the money back to the client. And I'm like, that's right. And they also said, Diane, if we told everybody that they could all fit into the Busch Stadium, they would feel like they were just a number. They wouldn't feel special to us. So why don't you keep that, to a minimum of people to let them know, because we want every single person to feel special. I'm like, okay, I got it, but I just had to tell y'all. Okay, so anyway, Essence, where else is Essence represented? So everyone knows and knows about the reciprocity too.
Absolutely. So we're in Southwest Missouri, the Springfield area, Northwest Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas, Louisville, Lexington, in Kentucky, and of course, Chicago. Yes, Chicago, Illinois. And of course, our greater St. Louis plans that you all are a part of include several counties in Illinois as well. And I was sharing with the group earlier today that those plans have networks just like we do here in St. Louis, or we're contracted with. And your Essence, if you're in any of those areas I just named, any of our in-network doctors are open to you as well as in-network for you as well.
So that means that if you guys happen to go to an appointment and you are talking to the surgeon and you ask that surgeon, where'd you learn how to do this? And they say, oh, I learned how to do this up at Northwestern in Chicago. Oh, what's that surgeon's name? You can go to the surgeon that actually started that perfection of that particular surgery and in those areas. And so that is really a unique thing to be able to have that available to you. So I want to make sure you understand, even with an HMO, you are able to do that, because if they're in the HMO for Essence in those areas, you're going to be able to see them for those prices. $0 if you establish another primary in another area. I mean, that's amazing that that's available. But again, it's that commitment of the doctors knowing that they want to be able to, for you to have access to that care. Now, the main thing that's different between the HMO and the PPO is the fact that on the HMOs, you need to have referrals.
For specialists.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Every time, except your primary.
Except your
But
exactly.
Yeah.
And then on the PPO, you do not have to have a referral and you can go outside the network. You're just paying a larger portion. So it's a matter of expanding that network. So what has happened historically, Medicare, they're reimbursing the rates of the HMO. And when you go to the PPO and outside the network, it's on you to cover that difference. Okay. So it is much, much easier. This is kind of getting in the weeds for an actuarial standpoint, from an actuary to say, yes, this is how much the members are going to spend. In a PPO, it's very difficult to predict how much the member is going to spend and the behavior of that member. So you guys having the HMO, you're holding it together. You're the glue. And so what happens at the beginning of the year, even if you've had the doctor for a very, very long time, and this gets back to your question about going to the doctor and giving a doctor that you've seen for a long time and telling that doctor, well, I see this other doctor. Go ahead and tell them, this is what I typically do. I go see this doctor at this time of the year, this doctor at this time of the year, give them the name, the date, the phone numbers, all those kinds of things, and let them know ahead of time and let them know the behavior and what the behavior has always been. They don't know because they have no record of it, no reference whatsoever. And you have to keep in mind too, and this is what Edith and I were talking about, Edith Voiles, you guys know Edith, we all love Edith. Edith, she's fantastic. She looks at me, she said, Diane, why are they being so stringent on this with all these referrals? And I said, well, my gosh, Edith, what they do at the beginning of the year will set the standard for the rest of the year. Okay, so stay with me on this. So if someone has your health history and they really haven't gone to a cardiologist for a certain event, and then someone else comes into the same office and says, I got to go to that cardiologist. I got to go. There's been no established performance levels or processes for that particular doctor. And when they don't have those processes in place, they can be audited. And they do not want to be audited. So at the beginning of the year, they're creating all of the behaviors that are going to be considered normal. So of course, you're going to hear from the doctor's office to say, who are your other doctors? How long have you been with that doctor? And it feels like an interrogation sometimes because you're like, man, I'm fine. Leave me alone. But they're doing that because they've got to cover themselves. It's a business, and we live in a litigious society. So that's what all that goes with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Isn't it weird when you hear that?
I think, Kevin, I'm going next week for my yearly first one. And now I know exactly, I'm gonna make every single doctor, when I've seen them, what I'm seeing them for, any problems that I'm thinking of down the road, and then they'll have it all down.
Exactly, because it's so interesting in this guide from Essence. There's this one page, and I hope you guys can see this really closely. Okay, so on here it shows if you have a primary doctor, they're acting like your quarterback for your team. Okay, and they're communicating to all the other doctors. When you have the HMO for Essence, I'm telling you, this is when having those referrals and having the doctors all communicate to each other is to your advantage. When you go into the hospital, and you would see, if any of you have ever been in there, the nurse comes in that changes their from 6 hours to the next 6 hours. And then they go to the board and they erase the name. They say, hi, I'm your nurse for the next 6 hours, the next 12 hours or whatever. And then they ask you a ton of questions and they say, who's your doctor? Who's this? And you feel like, death warmed over, you're like trying not to answer. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, just bring me some Jello. And they're asking you all these questions. What we have found is with the HMO, with Essence, they're not asking you all those questions because they can see all of the information in one place. Why? Because Essence has a partnership with Lumeris. They're under the same umbrella as companies, and that particular company is right next door to them over in Richmond Heights, Maryland Heights area, right by the casino and right by where we all hear music, where we used to call it Riverport. Who knows what it's called now? And they're right there, located right before you leave St. Louis County and go to St. Charles County. And it's one where Lumeris is a system, and AI, they use AI, they use technology, and they collect all your data. So when you're in the hospital, you're probably not going to have that nurse ask you to give you the whole health history again, because they can see it. So that's the real benefit of having your primary as your quarterback. But to allow them to quarterback for you, you gotta let them, in on the referrals and who you're seeing and who you want to see and why. And so they can support you, because that's what it's all about. So they can be your advocate, your communicator, and also your doctor. Make sense? Cool. Okay. Did I leave anything out, Essence? You're like, no, just keep on going, Diane. All right. So, okay. So, it's interesting, isn't it? Okay. So what I know we're going to come into the prescription drug coverage and that kind of thing after we go over the medical. But what I really want now is to turn the screen around and have Essence go over the benefits that are in your HMO line by line, and then a deep dive into how to get the most out of your FlexCard, and then anything else she wants to add to that portion. So we're kind of do a little bit backwards. So
do you mind if they have
Yeah,
something to
everybody.
reference? I don't know if you prefer them to have these.
Oh, yeah.
or at the end.
So we're passing out these really beautiful,
Large.
information
Take one and pass
sheets.
it down. Okay. Sorry. One. Just.
So for you guys, if you're gonna just, you want to just go through line by line?
Yeah.
Who was?
Okay.
We keep looking in like ceiling lights.
Okay, hopefully,
That was Ed that called.
Maybe he's not dressed.
hopefully.
I think he had some questions.
Okay.
Righty. So this is a highlight. Obviously, this is
Can you guys see that?
entire plan. That would be a lot to put on there, but this is most of the commonly benefit.
And we're gonna use the back page for the flex benefits. Let's go.
Absolutely. You want to start there?
Yeah, let's start with,
the plan?
we're gonna start with all the benefits, and then we'll go into, the non-sexy part. So.
Preloaded.
Yes.
Got it.
So we have three, everybody here right now is in the HMO.
HMO,
is that correct?
mhm.
Okay, in an HMO, one of the three.
I think that they're all in the select HMO. Mhm.
Okay.
Everybody is.
Whatever.
Yeah, she said
yes.
she's in the plus.
So I think you guys have the select. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All righty, and it's right on your card if you need to to
So
confirm.
it's the very first one,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, the Essence Select HMO is the very, very first one over here, y'all. So
Okay, so that's
right here.
We'll focus. on
Mhm.
what's
Can you
on
guys
the
see
left.
that as I hold it up?
Do we get to keep these that we mark up?
Yes, yes.
They're all Essence Advantage.
Yeah, these are yours.
But there's
Oh,
Essence
thank you.
Advantage Select,
Select.
and then there's Essence Advantage Plus, and then there's just Essence Advantage. So there's three, as you can see, there's three HMOs, 1, 2, and 3.
And the one that is most popular with my clients is the Essence Select.
Yeah.
So,
Wrong.
mhm. Yeah,
Perfect.
so yes, Select.
All right, so we'll focus. We are on the
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you do have the Essence Select, Janet.
I do too.
Mhm. And Diane, we trust.
Everybody to turn over to where it's kind of highlighted in blue. So you'll just flip this over. She's got it. She's got it. Just flip it over. And you already had it right. There you go. All right. So we are in the first column, and I'll go slow for everybody online so you guys can keep up with what we're talking about. So we're starting with the extra benefits. So you have your Essence Advantage Select. What I'd like everybody to do, and I was kind of telling Diane about this, when you get home or whenever, just I would like you to confirm that your FlexCard, MasterCard that you showed, the one that you use, that that your $2,900 balance is on there, ready to go. Don't wait till you go have a dentist or appointment or something.
And that's just call in and ask, right?
Yes, and you should be able to use the automated.
Yeah.
Make sure that is ready to go, and if not, please call us so we can get you the right card or get your balance loaded.
Okay.
Please do that. Thank you. And remember that MasterCard holds not only your $2,900, but it also holds your over-the-counter benefit in a separate purse. So that $2,900 that you should have January 1st, and you have until December 31st to use that $2,900 for non-Medicare covered dental, vision, and hearing. Okay, so you can use it in any of those three categories: non-Medicare covered dental, vision, and hearing. So that's glasses, that's hearing aids, that is your preventative dental, or your comprehensive dental for crowns, implants, etc. Okay.
When you say non, you mean you can pick your own doctor.
So you can go to any doctor with your FlexCard. The most important thing you need to do before you have any work done is make sure they accept that FlexCard as payment. Because if they don't and you pay out of pocket, there is no reimbursement. Okay, so you need to make sure they accept that FlexCard MasterCard before you have them work. Okay, that card also holds your $40 quarterly over-the-counter benefit. Now, the difference is that $40 will expire at the end of the quarter, which would be the end of March, I believe. Your $2,900, you have all year to use. The $40 you get quarterly, and it needs to be used quarterly.
Use it or lose it.
Lose it.
They can go
Walgreens, Walmart, yes.
Now, when I called in and asked that question of Essence, I was told something I wouldn't have thought of, and they said you need to go not to a self-checkout.
Right.
Don't go to a self-checkout like we all have now. Go to a person.
Okay.
Yes,
I said, really? Okay.
because it doesn't work.
Huh.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And sometimes even if you go to a cashier,
Yeah.
it won't work.
Then what do you do?
Then you stop.
See you later, alligator.
So, and I have found the things that they say, like the OTC on the shelf, they're not covered by that card. They're covered by another card that OTC.
Self-checkout.
Yeah.
My best is to go online and go to your department or whatever you want to call it, and buy it there.
So we have an online store, but it is only accessible once you set up your account on everythingessence.com. Then you have access to the online store. I can't get there. Diane can't get there for you. You have to have a Everything Essence account set up, okay, to use the online store.
Right.
And as far as in person, I do hear that Walgreens is the best in-person retail experience for our members.
Yeah.
In comparison to Walmart.
Yeah.
Because they just have so many products.
Yeah. CVS also, but
Okay, good. It's good to know.
So Walmart's kind of the problem.
I've had,
It's so
I have a
massive.
problem with all
I
of it.
have found
So I
one
just go online.
cashier, well,
I don't even bother
yeah,
anymore.
but another cashier don't. I had some cashier really work with me and hell, everything was covered.
Oh,
Then
no.
I've had other cashiers, you don't get shit. It's like, okay, it's like, well, there should be something here, you know?
I know.
And it's like having the perfect cashier, you know?
We were really stuck because we thought by giving you guys the money and letting you go to stores or shop online or shop here, we were giving you the freedom to choose versus limiting you to a little catalog. It's just like we can't win. We try to do it another way, and there's problems either way. So
Hey, Diane,
Yes.
we use the Flex card at Schnucks at the self-checkout and it worked.
Nice.
Oh, well, good. Which Schnucks?
Well,
Butler Hill.
Okay, well, coming on down to see you.
I'd like to know, what did you get? What did you get it?
You pay shipping?
You pay
Can
shipping.
he hear me?
I think so.
About the flex.
Mark, Mark, what were you able to get at Schnucks?
Yeah, for that.
Over the counter, like ibuprofen or whatever.
Okay, that's great.
Good to know.
Good to know.
All right.
Yeah.
Like
We're
so
gonna continue to gather that information so everyone can have that to share, because it is important, because I know once we'll get together. I keep on referencing that I'm getting together with other brokers in February with Essence to kind of go over, and with Essence Healthcare and with Essence Randolph to go over what were the really good things about this year's plan. Because by the time we get to April, they will have put together the 2027 outline. And then by July, they come in with the second edition of that 2027 outline for plans. And then they can make changes to it all the way through October 1st. So this discussion is so helpful, because we're able to take it back to everyone and say, this is the feedback from the members. So this is wonderful, you guys, to hear all of this. I'll let you keep on going.
So let's move on to dental, the second area there. So you have your $2,900 where you can go to the dentist of your choice to use your flex card, making sure they accept that flex card. But do remember, we have a new dental vendor. We let go of DentaQuest at the end of last year, and now we are partnered with Liberty. The only contracted benefits with Liberty are your preventative. Oral exam and cleaning every 6 months, x-rays, oral exams. That is $0 for you if you use a Liberty dentist. Now, if you don't want to deal with a Liberty dentist, you have your own dentist, you take your $2,900 and pay for your preventative care how you see fit. But if you want to take advantage of these $0 preventative benefits, you have to use a Liberty dentist, okay? All right.
So you can find a Liberty dentist by Googling and enter in the Google search Liberty providers for dental. And then you'll be able to go right in and add your zip code, and then the Liberty providers for dental will be popping through. Or again, you can call on the back of your card customer service at Essence, and then they can help walk you through it, or they can walk through that for you.
Make sure if you do go to the Liberty site that you choose Essence Healthcare as the network from the drop down so that you get our stuff. Okay.
Question.
Yes.
All right. Right now, you're saying that like the bite wings every other time, and or x-rays and cleanings twice a year, that is covered not through the 29.
It can be. Say you look.
That's the problem. See, I didn't want to do that. Why can't I use it with that?
Oh, you absolutely.
All
It's
right.
your choice. But to use this, you
Yeah.
have to use a Liberty dentist.
My dentist will do that. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So inform your dentist.
Yeah.
Don't assume that billing person is brilliant.
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, there you go. I need to know the dentist.
You can just use the regular coverage and you don't have to use the 2,900.
Right.
Oh, you're
preventative.
Got it.
If you go
Got
with
it for the
Liberty,
preventive, yeah. And I've got to see if ours is Liberty.
Yeah.
They took what we had at PPO, so they took Essence before, so I've got to make sure they'll still take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the past,
I tried last year with the other, and they were gonna charge me the same price as if I didn't have any insurance. And then went and gave me x-rays, and I hated it before they even discussed money. And here I put that crap in my body and I didn't even get nothing. So you think this card is really gonna pay for some dentures all the way if I get them under?
no, not necessarily. No.
2009.
I mean, if you can get them dentures for less than $2,900,
Then it would-
Well, they were charging
Then
me
that would work.
$800, and I paid for that
Mhm.
with before, but without any insurance.
Okay, you
Well,
definitely. make
Then
sure-
life is better this year for you.
I need to take that card and show them.
Well,
Yeah, and make sure before you
Yeah.
have the work done, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well-
everybody's gonna make sure their money's on there. before they go,
Sales,
yeah.
that's my profession. You bargain, you make your deal, and then you say, now my pay method. Now you know that they're only gonna charge you 2,000 for upper and lowers. And you know, you're not getting, you know, the big thousands of dollars, you're getting dentures. And so you know what it costs, and now you say you wanna pay with this card. And, you know, so then they can't raise you. And
That's
then-
right.
And then I learned from Janet, she paid for those, well, if I'm going to have those, I want them covered in my insurance or something, I don't want to pay for that. Or they could go to Liberty and have the x-rays and have them sit over. They probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but is there
But they
very
could.
many Liberty places in?
Yes, yes, there are.
Yeah, how
There
about
are. It's-
Arnold?
Yes, there,
It-
yes, there's a much better offering than the previous vendor. And then while we're on the subject of dental, I will tell you all that oftentimes I get the phone call, and that is, Diane, this is the prior authorization of these codes that I'm going to have for the dental work that I need. This is the description. What can you do? Well, guess what, folks? I can do a lot. So you just got to let me know. As long as you haven't had the work done, then I can work with that information. I can also gather it from the dental office itself. And then I can look up the different dentists and I can see, okay, who's in network with what ancillary plan, what additional plan to the Medicare, and just make sure that you are maximizing your benefits and not leaving yourself with a huge bill at the end. So if there's any way that I can minimize that cost with a minimal amount of output so that you don't have a maximal amount of a payment to have, oh my gosh, I'm your girl. So you just got to let me know, and tell your friends too. They do not have to be a Medicare client in order to have my help with other insurances throughout the year. And that comes out a lot. You know, like people will ask me, Diane, can you help my under 65 family member? Yes. Can you just help my friend that needs dental? Can you just help my friend that needs a little bit more vision? Can you just help my friend that needs a hearing? Yes, I can. You do not have to be my health insurance client in order for me to have the opportunity to talk to you about ancillary. Does that make sense? So yeah, isn't that now you know why I get into all these 29 states. I think I have to. Edith told me the other day, she goes, Diane, you got to add Montana. Who's in Montana? I don't even know the capital of Montana. No, I do. Anyway, go on. I digress.
All right. The next category, which is routine vision, okay? This is different from your medical benefit. I want to make that clear, where you see an ophthalmologist or have cataract surgery. This is routine vision. This is vision that Medicare doesn't normally cover, but we include for you, okay? So you'll pay $0 for a routine eye exam, and you get a $200 allowance for routine eyewear, your frames, lenses, or contact lenses every calendar year. So any overage from that $200, remember, you can, as long as that provider accepts that MasterCard, you can pay your overage through that. For this routine vision benefit, you have to use a provider from iMed. iMed is our vendor for routine vision.
iMed.
iMed.
How do you spell that?
EYEMED.
Oh.
That is your vision network. In your new member guide that you should have received via mail or email, it gives you the phone number for iMed as well as the website if you want to search providers. But I see a lot of big ones in there.
I'm
like
thinking
iMed.
Pepos is one of them because I just had cataract surgery and it's covered.
Clarkson,
Okay, so they must be in our
Clarkson,
medical-
Clarkson, eye care is in there as well.
And Pepos, which
Mhm.
is on. So here's my question, or just something for you to know for future reference. So I just had my first cataract surgery. Yay, my left eye is good. My right eye not yet, but will be in another week. I called into Essence to ask, can my flex card be used for my copay, my $175? First answer I got was yes. Okay, so I went in, I tried, it didn't work. Second answer I got was, go ahead and use yours and we'll reimburse you. Third answer I got was, I'm really sorry, ma'am. I have no idea why they told you that. It is not covered and we don't reimburse. So just so you know, not everybody seems to be telling the clients the right
Good to
information.
know. That's really good to know.
Because it kind, it did make, I thought maybe it would be considered my copay until I read this and I see no, because it's not routine.
Right.
And
Right.
still to do cataract surgery for $175 per eye is pretty amazing.
That is amazing. That is amazing. You worked for it. You earned it,
Yeah, I did.
Judy.
Just, but the people who are answering the phone are not giving the same information. Just so you know.
Yeah, that's very good to know.
Oh, it's just amazing.
know.
I can't wait. I went for my second follow-up today, and the doctor said, just want to tell you, sometimes people after they've had one say, this is so good, I don't want to go on and do the other one. I'll wait another year. I said, no, I want to do it. I can already feel the real difference.
Oh my gosh. I just thought of my friend who just had a mastectomy and she had to do one breast and then add another breast. Sorry, guys that are on this call. But I was just thinking of her saying, if someone would have said to her, well, some people just stay with one and they don't add the other. I would be like, oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Sometimes if one is so much worse than the other, then you say,
Right.
this is good.
Right. And there have been some that say that, and then because they can do a corrective lens on the other side, just through glasses and whatnot. So yeah, that is something. That's funny. Okay, so we digress again, but we go back. Okay, here we go.
All right, next category here, hearing. So your plan gives you $20 copay for a routine hearing exam with an in-network provider. You also get a $1,000 allowance for up to 2 hearing aids every 2 calendar years, both ears combined, and a $0 copay for your hearing aid fitting and evaluation covered once every 2 calendar years. Now, good to know. If you want to use your $1,000 allowance at the point of sale, meaning not go in your own pocket, you have to use our vendor Amplifon, and their 1-800 number is in your new member guide. If you don't mind, if you want to go to the place of your choice to get your hearing aid, you would pay out of pocket, and we will reimburse up to $1,000 every 2 calendar years on the hearing aids. So, but Amplifon is the only vendor where you can get that $1,000 off at the point of sale by calling their 800 number that's in your new member guide.
And I will say that Amplifon's pricing is very competitive, extremely competitive, because most of the parts are made in America. So it really brings down the cost. So I had a long conversation with them about 2 years ago at our broker leader meeting. And I said, okay, deep dive, tell me a little bit more about what y'all do and why you're able to give this at a lower rate. I said, are you cheap? And they were like, no, Diane, it's where we get our supplies from. And so I felt much better about that. I'll let you go on.
All right, you guys get your silver sneakers included at no additional cost. Remember, Essence members have a special carve out for that fancy gym, Lifetime Fitness. They have a location in Chesterfield, Missouri, as well as Frontenac. However, the Medicare list at Frontenac is never ending. So, but I encourage you guys, that membership is $200+ a month. You've got the hot tub. I mean, it is an amazing gym.
For sneakers, clean.
So Lifetime Chesterfield is a special carve out for Essence members, in addition to all the other silver sneakers locations.
And we just joined, we're in like the unincorporated Baldwin area. So we're kind of in Manchester. So we just joined Crunch.
Yes.
Which is another really great new gym. No problems. We had our silver sneakers number, went right in. We're members.
So the nice thing is that this year with Courtney Hudson being promoted to or hired for the marketing assistant in my on my team, she said, Diane, we need to have a tune-in Tuesday. I'm like, what is a tune-in Tuesday? And she said, it's when your clients tune in and we get together in a group like this, and we have different topics throughout the whole year, and we're putting our topics together. And so one of them was to talk to Crunch Fitness about and have them represented about what you can do at home and what you can do actually at the gym. What is the difference, and what are the outcomes of that by having the workouts at home and having the workouts at a gym, and then all the different programs, just kind of a deep dive into how to use your benefits and what to look for and questions to ask so that you're safe. And then if you want to hire a physical trainer, what questions you would ask someone to be the right physical trainer for you. So that was one of the Tune-In Tuesdays. So we're going to be doing those. I haven't even announced this on any of the other calls, but we're going to be doing those on the second Tuesday of every month. So next month is going to be on women's health going into March, which is, the Women's History Month. And then we also have another event on 2/26/26 is a Thursday evening, which is for women's voices. And the voices that are going to be heard, they're going to be at Creek Valley, which is over at Clarkson and Clayton. Way back in the day, it's where Tin Lizzy used to be, but then it was a car place, and then now it's a retirement facility there. And so they have about 125 residents, but they have a theater that seats about 100 to 150. So we have a performance at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a performance at 7 o'clock at night, and then there's a happy hour, of course, in between, because that's how I roll. And so and all y'all too. So anyway, what is going to happen is Harriet Tubman, a woman who plays Harriet Tubman, is going to be debuted at that event. She's never done the acting yet on that role. And then another woman who has played Sojourner Truth is going to be there. Another woman who plays Susan B. Anthony is going to be there. And another woman who plays Susan, Katie B. Stanton is going to be there. And they do these reenactments of different parts of history about how they were influential. And that's just going to lead into Women's History Month. So that's kind of our kickoff for those Tune-In Tuesdays, and you'll be getting more information about that. And that whole brainchild has come from Courtney Hudson. Aren't we so excited she's on my team? But anyway, again, I digress. Go back.
Rounding out the extra benefits on your select plan is the wellness tracker, the Aura Ring.
Okay.
Dun, da, da, da.
Shirley so graciously showed us.
Yes, our model. Here we go, our model.
Around and you twist this off, and but you can't use this because they make you do a questionnaire that this is just for me.
Yeah.
So do not try them on. I don't think they can tell, but don't do it. Don't get me in trouble. I'll just pass it around. And nothing came with it but that little box. There's no literature.
Okay, so Essence, once you
It's probably in the book.
your ring, there are different colors that you can choose from. And we will also pay for your monthly app membership as long as you're a member of the plan. This ring is not only beautiful, but it also tracks your heart health, activities, sleep patterns, stress, blood oxygen, etc. So we just, want you to be aware of your health. And
so I'll give you the written advertisement for it. So it's in the book, and you can kind of see what it's going to look like on your tracker that goes to. And it's one where I'll just let you guys know. I think some of you've heard this story that one of my clients came in and she said, Diane, this is so important to have. And I'm like, oh, really? And she goes, no, really, it's really important to have. And I said, well, what's going on with it? And then she showed me her pictures of when she started wearing the Aura Ring, and it was this summer. and her sleep was at a 4.6 out of a 10 scale, and it went up to a 7, over a 7, like a 7.6. And she showed it to me. She said they told me when to drink water, when to, when I should eat, and I was able to track when I was sleeping and what the optimal time was. And she said, and follow it. And I did. And so my score got a lot better. I thought, oh my gosh, that's amazing. She goes, yeah, I think I sold you. And
I could get rid of the CPAP. Maybe.
who knows? I mean, you just don't know. But here's the interesting thing that she also told me. I said, so where does all this information go? She said, it's my personal health information. And she said, if I choose to share it with my doctor, I can. And my doctor has that much more information about me and about, how I tick. She was literally how I tick. And I said, that's amazing. So, and the fact that Essence, as a company, is saying, we want you to have this, get it, because it will only help you. And it is a $400 value, and it's $20 a month if you would have had to pay for the membership, and you're not. They're going to pick that up for you. So it is because they are committed to wellness. So another thing that I wanted to mention. No, you do not have to tell the doctor. So
If the information
Switch off of Essence.
no, you can keep the ring, but you'd have to pay for the membership,
Okay.
Yeah.
the monthly membership.
No more.
Then you don't, it's just like anything. Put it on the shelf. You don't need it.
How do you order it? How do you order?
Okay, how do you order it? You can call customer service on the back of your card to order it, or you can go into Everything Essence and you can order that ring.
Yeah.
So, but the other thing I wanted to let you know, we were talking about silver sneakers right before this, and I've got to give you guys a commercial about silver sneakers, and that is go on to Silver Sneakers. And you could probably see classes that you could take at home, meal plans that you can have at home, all those types of things. It's wonderful. You can even customize meal plans by putting in there, if you're having any allergies or if you have any medications, whatever, and they'll populate some of that for you. They'll also let you know how to go on and register for Sage Scholars through Silver Sneakers. Sage Scholars is a program where if you go 7 times a month, approximately 7 times a month, every single month, it's going to convert to 1,000 points, which converts to $1,000 in a scholarship for either yourself or someone in your family to over 412 colleges and universities. So I have a client, she said, oh, I don't know anyone that would use that. And I said, well, didn't you say your grandson is going to have a foreign exchange student from Italy? She goes, I can go learn to speak Italian. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, you go for it. And then my other commercial about that is another client. Essence has already heard this story, but it is hilarious. She's 83 and she calls me and she says, Diane, my doctor says I need to do Tai Chi. I said, yes, you do. I agree. Do it. I'm all for it. And so she said, okay, and maybe I will, maybe I won't, maybe I will. So then she calls me like a couple weeks later and she said, I'm doing Tai Chi. I said, you are? Where are you doing Tai Chi? She said, oh, and this was last spring. She said, oh, down at Forest Park. And she said, and then I go over to Clayton. You do? And she goes, and then I go out to West County. And I said, uh-huh. I said, and who's the instructor? She said, oh, he's gorgeous. So it's the same instructor, like everywhere. She's just following him. Hilarious. So you can go to as many places as you guys want to go to. So it's true. So you could go to Lifetime Fitness, and then you could say, I'm going to go meet someone over at Rosalita's, and y'all could go work off the burrito over at the Pear Lodge. I mean, you can do it. That sounds like a fun day to me, actually. I'm all for it. Okay. Rosalita's? No, I'm kidding.
7 times.
go 7 times a month?
Oh, that's the Sage Scholarship Program, Sage
And
Scholars.
that's
Through Silver Sneakers. So you can, to get to Silver Sneakers, the easiest way is just silversneakers.com, or you can go onto Google and just put Silver Sneakers and you can put Sage Scholars after it, and then it just pops you right in.
No,
So,
Sage.
oh, good.
And they have a
Yay.
robotic massager, which I'm afraid of that thing. That thing broke. It's big, heavy duty.
Uh-huh.
If it got on you and squeezed you or something. But then they also have these massage things that you lay down. There's water underneath it. Oh, they've got tanning beds.
Oh,
What
that's
I
good.
love is they have the sauna.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
So
nice.
getting all these
Club
benefits.
Fitness.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but now that one you're telling about, it's only one in St. Louis that you can go for a whirlpool.
The Lifetime Fitness.
Lifetime Fitness, yeah.
It's like the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, it was like the Taj Mahal.
It is.
It's like 25 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
The food there is just fantastic. I mean, it's,
This is really good.
oh my gosh.
They call them
They have the energy bite balls. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so good. Okay. So now we're going to get real boring, and now we're going to go over just your basic, Medicare a plan that you have, your medical stuff. So I'm going to hold this up. Okay, I'm looking at the basic stuff. Okay. We're going to go to the front. We're just going to go line by line by line by line. So, because, that's what we're going to do. Okay. And we're just going to look at the Essence Select HMO line by line. And it's the first column right here. So now we're talking medical. This is what goes into your MOOP, your maximum out of pocket, your MOOP. So Essence, take it away. You're going to read it. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll read it. Here we go. Okay. So we have a 0 monthly premium. Yay. How does that work? Why is that 0? It's because the government knows that you work the 40 quarters. So the government is giving the money to Essence to do the right thing with. So these conversations that we're having today is allowing them to know where you want that money to be spent. Okay, so we have almost, even more than $1,800 a month per person coming into all the Medicare Advantage plans. So, and then it's their job to see that they've spent the money and they've spent it correctly. So, that's probably Part B. So,
No, for what I got.
yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, well, I got a
So,
bill.
yeah.
And what, last month and again, now they.
Yeah, we'll have to look. Yeah, we'll have to look at that. If you guys ever get a weird bill, then text it to me so I can look at it and I can see what's happening to see if it's something from Essence or if it's something from Medicare or Social Security. So the best way to text me is 314-302-5743. Again, it's 314-302-5743, or you can text Edith Voiles at 314-920-3990. So when you look at these plans in the greater St. Louis area for Essence HMO Select is a 0 monthly premium. And then there is no, I'm shaking my head, no deductible. You do not have to spend money in order to get your copays. It goes straight into your copays. So preventative care and screenings, I mentioned that earlier to start that conversation with your doctor. And you mentioned those preventative care and screenings that you would like to have. And then you can hopefully plan on those down the road as you would like to have them. And they're $0. Primary care visits are $0. You can go visit that primary all the time if you'd like to. You do. I would say if you want to get into that primary, call them today. Yeah. I have a doctor's appointment that I called last week on, and they said, we'll see you April 1st. Yeah. I'm like, I go, that's April Fool's Day. Are you joking? So, okay. And then we have a specialist doctor visits are 30 copay. Lab services are $0. That's great. Lab services are $0. So inpatient hospital coverage, days 1 through 7, you're paying out of your pocket $240 a day copay. And then days 8 and beyond, it is a zero copay. So that is one where if you say, Diane, I don't like that. I don't want to spend $240. I don't want to spend anything. If we haven't had the conversation about covering that with a hospital indemnity, that's a conversation that I'm going to have tomorrow on Zoom. And then those conversations will be available for you all to look at on my website, which is DianeInsuranceSTL.com. And then the outpatient surgery at an ambulatory surgery center is $175 copay.
See, that's what I had and I, didn't realize it. So it's exactly what they did.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, but again, if you do want to know ahead of time what something's going to cost, you can call and get a pre-authorization.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's not innate that we think of that.
No.
Though it's not, sometimes I don't even think of it. And I'll come home and say, Eddie, he said, what? Why didn't you call?
You know that.
I said, because do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so we have the maximum out of pocket for this year. If you get really, really sick, it's going to be $3,900. Most people do not reach that. But there's got to be a maximum amount before then the company steps in and starts paying at 100%. So prescription drugs.
Really quick,
Yeah.
with your medical and hospital that we just finished talking about, just make sure you're in an HMO plan. Everything you do has to be in network and get your referrals from your primary care physician before seeing a specialist. Just always like to remind everybody about that. Unless it's an emergency, make sure you stay in network.
Okay,
Can
you go to urgent?
Toward a chiropractor.
What?
The chiropractor I've been seeing, he don't take Essence, and it's like, is there any way that I could get a referral to see him?
Not if he's not contracted with the plan. We have a list of contracted chiropractors you would need to choose from, or you can pay out of pocket and,
Yeah, I know.
right? And sometimes chiropractors will cut a deal. They know they're not in a lot of networks, so sometimes they'll make it easy to cash pay.
I think he said $50. It's only $20.
Right.
It'd be $50. I don't want to pay $50.
I know.
When there's all kinds, I think you were telling me, like, there's all kinds of chiropractors at $20.
That you can see through us, yes.
But I didn't know. I was wondering if you could do a referral with a chiropractor.
Not out of network. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you call the Essence number and you call the 800 number, you always ask them which chiropractors have the most membership going to see them. You can say, how large is this group that is their business? And so you can also call the actual chiropractor who's in whatever network and ask them, how large is the representation of my network with your business? And they should be able to answer that question. And it's a really good indicator if they have had a track record with the company for claims and had a relationship with them. And that goes for any provider to ask those questions. Those are great questions to ask.
Urgent care is the same as the emergency room within the United States. We do not have a network for urgent care.
So that's important to know too. So when you go outside of the coverage area, you're not in one of the areas that Essence Healthcare is in, you're actually covered for emergency care and also urgent care. If you go outside of the country, you are covered for urgent care and emergency care. But I will tell y'all right now, don't do it. Don't go without an extra plan. Because I was in a class this year and I thought, well, that's be okay. If they go and you have an accident, I didn't know. This is the one that I didn't really know. One of my clients, she needed to have her leg reset on a Friday and she was in Africa. And so she was like, Diane, I've got to have this leg reset. I said, okay, well, we got to try and call the company. It wasn't Essence that we were dealing with. It was another company. We couldn't get the answer until Monday. So guess what, folks? She didn't get it set until Monday. Well, that's when I got into a class and I found out you can have an ancillary plan when you travel and you go outside of the country and they're 24/7. Because we're not talking about days, or the days are the same for our work days.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a mess. So so yeah, how about that?
I know in Mexico, it's just a big problem, a big problem. You want lunch, you pay for the lunch.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And everything is right now, you know, you want a Band-Aid, you pay for the Band.
Right.
That's just amazing.
When you're out of the country with us, it's certainly, you're gonna have to pay and we will reimburse you
Yeah.
minus your co-pays.
Right,
You know, so
right.
you have that credit card ready.
Exactly.
And then bring all your documentation, which sometimes needs to be translated because it's in a different language, but we
So
work with
just
you on
call
that.
me before you leave,
Yeah.
because we've got two companies that are ancillary companies that we work with. And I'll tell you what, we've got a client that's going to Nepal on January 30th through February 18th. And she called and she said, "Oh, Diane, you know, it should be okay." I said, "Are you drinking water? Are you taking B12?" And I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV, but oh my gosh, you know, those particular mountains over there make Pikes Peak look like a hill. And so I said, "My gosh," I said, "Do you have extra insurance?" And so she was laughing. And I said, "Let me price it out for you." So for her trip over to Nepal to go along with her plan, her Medicare Advantage plan, it was only $154. And that covers AirVac, which AirVac in Nepal
Oh,
could be $72,000.
yeah.
So she said, "Okay, here's my card." So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. Tell your friends, again, they don't have to be my clients of Medicare in order to get that, but it's important to know about. Gosh, we didn't talk about that in the other class. We had other stuff.
Right.
So
Here for a minute. So you said, so how would that be? It's not covered, it is covered?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Urgent care is covered. Remember, this is a highlight sheet.
Okay.
yes. So urgent care, when you go to
As long as
urgent,
they're in network, is that the idea?
yeah, as long as you're in network,
Like
urgent care is $40.
You have to be
Mhm.
in network with urgent care. We do have a short list of urgent cares. that we
Actually,
do
it's
contract with,
$35.
But you can go to
35?
$35.
Yeah.
And then emergency room is only 150. And then diagnostic tests and radiology is diagnostic tests are 30, radiology is 200, and then outpatient surgery is 325. Radiation and chemo is 20%, just like durable medical equipment. I'm just letting you know. Oh, what? It's too high?
Select plan, the
Oh.
outpatient, seeing 325.
I'm seeing 325. Yeah, what?
Is that the PPO or something?
No, okay, correct me. I could be wrong. These are my notes.
Well, my
This
outpatient
Diane math.
was 175.
Oh, you're outpatient at the surgery at the hospital versus the ambulatory.
Right,
That's what
right,
happened.
right.
Sorry.
Absolutely. So, okay, good.
My
I was
bad,
right.
my
I was
bad.
right. So anyway, but you'll be able to deep dive into your
When
plan.
I went to urgent
So,
care. Oh, no, you can't visit
So-
there. No, just dental, vision and hearing.
okay, so the other thing that I want to let y'all know is just briefly about your medications. Here's my commercial. It's $2,100 is your maximum that you're going to spend this year on your medications. If your medication is not on the formulary and you get a medication like that, first step is to appeal it and call the customer service. And they're going to want probably a letter that says if they're not going, on the formulary already, they're going to want a letter that says from your doctor that it's medically necessary, that there are no other substitutes, and that it's not for a cosmetic reason that you would take it, and it's not elective that you would take it. And once they know that information, they go to work and they assign a tier level for the drugs. Okay. And then once they assign that tier level, do not assume that that is the lowest price in America. That's their best price that the plan can give you. That's when you call me and you say, "Diane, this is what they said they can do. I'm seeing if they can get, we can get something outside of Medicare. And that's when Edith and I look at GoodRx and Cost Plus Drugs from Mark Cuban. And we look at the Canadian Med Store with my friend Amber Monsalve. And that's when we look at the manufacturer and see if there's any coupons, discounts, trials, anything like that, or any international ways to bring that cost down. So, but the first step in the process is always to go to the plan itself and see if they'll add it to your formulary. Make sense? Okay, for the appeals process. So that pretty much, well, I want to say, like, what was the Porky the Pig? That's all, folks. So unless you want to share an aha moment or one last question, yeah, I'm going to round table it and I'm going to open it up. Any aha moments that you're like, I didn't know?
There were a lot of things there I didn't know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, a lot of little things.
Yeah, deep dive.
Yeah, deep dive.
Mhm.
And oh, by the way, if I'd have read the book really thoroughly.
That's Judy, everybody. A wonderful pianist, by the way. Ambidextrous. She can do multitasking. She's like, I thought I read it all.
No, I ended up.
That's okay, Pat. That's okay. Call Judy.
Membership.
Okay, what else? Other of the other aha moments that y'all might have had? Acres? Any?
This
Scholars,
the
state
state
scholars.
scholars, we really want to make sure we do that for our grandson.
Yes.
So is it taking a class, Diane? It's seven.
No.
You
It's
just
just, it could be classes. It could be just going into the gym and handing them your card. We were laughing at the last class. I said, there's this group down at Crunch Fitness that they get together at 7:30 in the morning every like Monday, Wednesday, Friday down here, you know, in Manchester. And they get together and they have donuts. And so so they're like, Diane, bring some donuts. And I'm like, I will. Okay, let's everybody get our card out, get credit. You know, somebody's got to go to college. So anyway, it was hilarious. So it's really about 7 times of activity within the month. You'll find they will update what the requirements are from time to time. So I'm just kind of giving you a broad brush overview of it. But definitely check out the Sage Scholars because it really can make a difference. I know it's really easy and more people need to know about it. And it's kind of like this really well-kept secret. And I'm like, why? So let's keep it a secret for us, you know.
Diane, do you know? Is it?
It could be usually it's a relative. That's what they say. But you know, with everything.
My friends, they're all of their own professions by grades. They're babies.
But someone might just want to go take a class, you know, just one class. You know, for me, if someone said, Diane, you won the lottery, I would be like, great, I'm going to school for the rest of my life. I've got a long list of stuff I don't know. So it's locked. So yeah, I don't know if it's on the list, but we could check it. So yeah, it's amazing. Okay. Yes, Pat.
Yeah, I can't.
Everything Essence.
Yeah, you know what? Evidently.
Who else do I represent? Yeah. Okay, so I am a broker. So that won't let you go broke with having health insurance. How about that for a line? And so how it works for me is in the St. Louis area, I have all 9 companies that are available. So I go through all those classes and I represent all 9. So we will talk about that later because you know it's going to cost you that hat.
I did change my.
Oh, well, we can still do it. And I'll tell you briefly. Yes. And so here's the interesting thing. Right now, this is called open enrollment right now between January and March 31st. So if y'all have a friend that's saying, oh, I really want to know, Diane, They can come to me, but I cannot come to y'all. I can't come to you and say, hey, you want to switch your plan now? Not allowed. But if someone comes to me, or if you guys came to me and said, Diane, after that class, I know that plan is not for me. Now I know that's not going to happen. But if it did, then you have the availability to you to switch your plan between January and March 31st every year. One time, because you're not satisfied with the plan that you're in. Or maybe you found out, like my client did last week, that he's going to have back surgery.
Yeah.
And he went in thinking this year, I don't need to have a low maximum out of pocket. I am so healthy, Diane. And his wife was like, and so, we were laughing about it. And so anyway, he's now got to switch. So plans, because he needs a lower maximum, and he actually needed a team of doctors that weren't in the team. Some were in, some were out, but in another plan, all were in.
Yeah.
Think of the amount of money that saves somebody. I mean, that's amazing. So, but those are the things that I can do throughout the year. And then also just know that even if you think, Diane can't help me, your health has changed. If your health changes and you get a chronic disease and something happens where you develop diabetes, or you have a heart condition, or you have COPD, oh my goodness, call me, because that's the time where we can, throughout the year, we can evaluate your plan. Or if something financially devastating happens and you happen to go on to Medicaid and you need to have Medicaid and Medicare together, it is unbelievable the choices in our state for those that are on Medicare and Medicaid. So if a financial situation happens, another way that we can look at it is we can always apply for LIS, which is low income subsidy, and that lowers all of your medications at that point in time too. So just tell all your friends, Diane's got all these little things up her sleeve, and I'll tell you why, because I know people just like Essence. She is amazing.
Here, I just wanted to tell you all, thank you so much for choosing Essence. Like Diane said, you guys have several options. So thank you. We do not take your membership and enrollment lightly. That's why I took the day to spend the day with you all and hear your concerns and try to help you answer your questions. Thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you all. So
And I will also just add this one last thing, because I say it on every single call so far. In St. Louis, we are so lucky to have the broker leaders that we have, because they're regarded as the best. And I'll tell you why. We have 5 hospital systems here in St. Louis. We have St. Louis University, we have Mercy, we have BJC, Barnes Jewish, as well as Washington University. We also have St. Luke's and SSM. So when I go to these national conferences, like I'm about to do for NABIP, and do some advocacy work for healthcare and better representation from the broker side for you guys, so we can really do our jobs for you, and that our hands are not so tied with all these laws and rules. And that happens on February 23rd. When I go up there, I know all of them are going to say, you're from St. Louis? Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Because if they want to release a plan, they look at St. Louis to release a plan, because if it flies here, it'll fly anywhere in the United States. And then when they say to me, oh, isn't that where Essence is? They always do, because as a regional company, Essence is the only one since COVID where 3 of their years, they were a 5-star plan. And that's the highest ranking. And for 3 years coming out of COVID. And so they were able to have a year-long open enrollment. So Essence job is to make sure that everyone is completely satisfied and happy, because they are striving to get that 5-star rating back. And let me tell you how hard it is to get it. There's only 3 companies in America right now that have it. Because with that 5-star comes lots and lots of money for the member. So my word to you is, if you ever want to complain, do not complain to Essence, complain to me, because when you complain, it can actually hurt you. Because it doesn't get you the money that you need the next year and the satisfaction to come into your plan. Isn't that something? So always complain to me. But if you want to say good things, tell me the good things too. So So with that in mind, you have talked to one of the very best in the industry today, Essence Randolph, and I'm thrilled that you've been here. I think I wore you out. I might have. It is. It's time for happy hour. All right, you guys, if you need me, if you need any questions, also in the last class, we talked a little bit about, I know everyone said life insurance. Diane, we got to talk about life insurance for this year. If you have an old life insurance policy, we need to dust it off and we need to look at it and make sure that there's not some money that's just waiting for you to cash in on and then get another policy in its place. But that's another day and another time. Just let me know and I will talk to you all soon. God bless you. I love you all. You know it. Mwah, mwah, mwah. All right. Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna